You ever heard the saying, you have two ears and one mouth, meaning you need to listen twice as much as you talk? Welcome to the Daily Lift. And today we're going to be talking about anger and how we should be dealing with it as Christians. And in James chapter 1, verse 19, he actually says this very saying, but in a few different words. But before we get to that, I wanted to give some context here. So James is laying out this thesis on wisdom and on how we ask God for the things that we need, especially for wisdom. And he says that every good gift and every perfect gift comes from above. It comes from the Father of lights. And with him, there is no flipping and flopping. There is no shifting around like a shadow. And we see that God gives good gifts and he gives perfect gifts. And because we are part of his creation and we are obedient children to him, we are a kind of first fruits of his creatures, meaning that we are the best of the best. We should be the cream of the crop. And one of the ways that James teaches us how we can rise to those expectations that God has set out for us, that we can meet that standard that he has laid out, is with our control. James says, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. For the wrath of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Let me say that again. The wrath of man does not produce the righteousness of God. We all know this. When has there been a time that you said, I'm so glad I said that out of anger? Or when did you make a wise decision while you're angry? It doesn't happen. Right? And so James here is reminding us and he's encouraging us that we should be quick to hear, quick to listen, find out what's going on, listen to what is happening, listen to the other side of the story, that we are to be slow to our speech, that we shouldn't be just brain vomiting and we shouldn't just be saying the first thing that comes to our mind. We should meditate on the situation, think first, and then respond rather than just react. And he also says, be slow to wrath. We can't just draw conclusions and immediately our knee-jerk reaction is anger. James says this does not produce the righteousness of God. So if we want to produce the righteousness that God is pleasing to God, that God approves of, we need to be slow to anger. We need to be slow to our speech, and we need to be quick to hear. So you have two ears and one mouth. So make sure that you are listening twice as much as you talk. It'll keep you out of a whole lot of trouble. And as always, go lift someone up.